Hi, I'm Scott Engel, Managing Director of RotoExperts.com. I am the king. I am fantasy. I believe you already know that. And today, we're going to take an in-depth look at some power hitters who are raising concerns in fantasy baseball. Step into the indoor batting cage with me here at RotoExperts.com. Of course, everybody is so worried about Giancarlo Stanton. Recently, I had some time to talk to Giancarlo, and I can tell you one thing. He is not happy with the state of things in Miami. Now, he didn't outright tell me that, but from talking to people around the Marlins and getting the feel just for the mood around Giancarlo Stanton, he's not happy right now. He hasn't been happy since the offseason. An unhappy slugger with no lineup support doesn't make for a good thing. If you are thinking about buying low on Giancarlo Stanton, don't do it now. But it could come later in the year. There could be a point where maybe you want to pick up Giancarlo Stanton because he might get traded to another team. You're thinking, probably not going to happen. The Marlins aren't paying Stanton a lot of money. He is where he is. He's going to continue to be depressed. Yes, he'll get 30-plus homers, but it's going to be a lot of hollow numbers. So avoid the temptation to trade for Giancarlo Stanton. Ike Davis of the New York Mets started slow last year. He's starting slow this year. No valley fever. Thankfully, Ike is healthy. But a lot of power hitters are very, very streaky. Ike is simply off to a slow start. These kind of guys can kill you in a head-to-head league. So they're really not the type of guys you want to depend on. But in a roto league, you can wait out and wait for the hot streak. When Ike Davis is going on a home run binge very soon, nobody's going to remember the early days in April. Ike Davis could still hit 35 home runs this year easy. He's just in a funk. There's nothing to worry about with Ike Davis. If you have him, hold on to him. I often compare Pedro Alvarez to Pedro Serrano from Major League. Maybe it's time for Pedro to say, up you, Joe Boo. I do it myself. But Pedro Alvarez, look, he is what he is. He's going to go through some terrible cold streaks. But then he's going to get on fire and he's going to hit home runs in bunches. You don't want Pedro Alvarez in a head-to-head league. He's going to kill you. But like I say about other streaky power hitters, Ike Davis is another example. These guys are going to hit home runs in bunches, but Alvarez is even more of an extreme example than Ike Davis. Very hot, very cold. In a roto league, third base isn't deep, so be patient. In a head-to-head league, if you can move Alvarez and get rid of the headache, go ahead and do it. Ryan Howard had a very promising spring training, but he's off to a very slow start. Whispers are that he is not looking good physically and that it's going to take some time for him to get back into shape. I suggest you be patient with Howard, though. Coming off those injuries from last season, a lot of hitters, and you're going to see with guys like Victor Martinez too, they're going to take some time to round into form. Ryan Howard, you know what you get. You probably drafted him in the middle to late rounds, so be patient. The power is going to come. If you try to get rid of him right now, you're not going to get a lot from him. At least you'll get the pop later on with Ryan Howard. Matt Kemp is off to an awful start to the point where he is actually giggling after games, talking about his slump to reporters, hitting the ball on the ground constantly. Matt Kemp had a terrible spring as well, but you have to remember Matt Kemp is coming off a shoulder injury. As long as Matt Kemp doesn't have any setbacks, I'm expecting a bonanza of numbers later in the year. Again, don't overreact to early stats. If you can buy low on Matt Kemp, do it now. He's worked very hard during the offseason. Matt Kemp has a lot to prove to a lot of his critics, and you're going to see the numbers come later this season. If you want to find out how these guys can help you on a daily game basis, or you should just leave them out of your lineup altogether, consult RotoExperts.com/daily, our new daily fantasy gaming site with blogs from myself, the very personable Daniel Dobish, Jake Seeley, Adam the Droik, radio shows, videos from Pat Mayo, hot daily tools, and so much more. We help you cash in every day.